I'll show you how you are going to handle that. So where is this server? I have to create a new package. Let's go and create a new package. Okay, I'll create a new package. So I have to create a new package, exception handling, separate package I'll create. With the class itself, you can create a separate package. Class and package at the same time you can create. First, I'll give a package name, exception handling programs. And first one is the class name ArithmeticException demo. Don't write ArithmeticException. This is already created by Java. It exists. This class already exists. So you give your own name. That is ArithmeticException demo. This is not there. This is our own class. Take main method and that's it. So I'll just declare variables. Why you will get ArithmeticException?
When you example, like when you divide it to 0.
Yeah. So when you divide any number with a 0, so you will get a ArithmeticException, right? Static data type is missing. So now you can see that I'm just dividing a by b. So int, so result equal to a by b I'm doing. Okay. Now what happened? So a by b output is plus result. Okay. Then so I'll do some more statements also. Let's write few more statements also. First, understand the problem. So where is the why you are getting a ArithmeticException? I want to show you. Okay, that is the main reason I'm creating this program. So let's do so whether all these lines of code is executing or not, please catch these points. Programmatically, if you understand, you can easily answer the questions also. All this some statements we have written. Okay, this is output. Now let's execute whether all lines of code is executing or not. Okay, so let's see what will happen. Or whether that's the main thing. Is it executed any line of code here? No print statement is printed here. So what is the exception you got? Exception in thread main java.lang arithmetic exception divided by 0. This is the meaning of the system generated message. Did you understand this system generated message? And how do you debug this? So here it is clearly showing there is an error. See, you can see here very clearly it is giving the package name, class name, method name, and the line number is this is very clearly saying line number 7 this arithmetic exception is occurring. What is happening? Why you are getting arithmetic exception? What is the A value?
25.
What is the B value?
0.
0.
But not
So you are
Default is
dividing a number by 0. That is the reason you are getting a arithmetic exception. See, the rest of the code from this line after, no line of code is executed and exited completely. But how can I test my code? I got a runtime exception. This is a runtime exception. My code is not executed. How can I continue that? So in order to do that, we have these two are related, right? These two are related. Only these lines you put in the try block. So how to write in try block? So Eclipse is providing a nice feature. Use that nice feature, no problem. Select which line you want to place in the try block. Select those two lines. Or two lines are any number of lines. How many lines you want to keep in the try block? Which is giving a problem to you. Only that lines you keep in the try block. Now right click. Surround with try catch block. Like that. Surround with try catch block. See, automatically you will get everything. Automatically it placed. Now int result equal to a by b. So these two are in the try block, and in the catch block, you write a specific exception name. That is arithmetic it is showing. So give arithmetic exception. So I'll give AE. So I'll print the message. Catch block started. I'm just putting so that you can understand, right? Catch block started means you can understand. Okay. Then what is the object reference? We used AE. So you have to use AE to call the print stack trace method. AE dot print stack trace method. Even if you want a message, a get message, exception message. So these methods are already in the global class. So plus AE dot get message. Next, you want to cause exception cause. Exception cause is so AE dot get cause. Like these all the ready-made methods you can use. Let me use finally block also. So what is finally block? Finally block code starts here. Finally block code executes always. Always this code will execute. This whatever you write inside this block, even you got an exception here, finally block code will execute. Even if you don't get an exception here, finally block code will execute. But what about catch block? If there is an exception, then only catch block will execute. If there is no exception in the try block won't execute anymore. So now you see every line of code will execute now. So if you want, let me run in the debug mode so that you can get better ideas. In this many times we don't need. Let's debug, run in the debug mode. See, I'll show you line by line code. See, this line will come and stop there. It stopped. Where you kept that this toggle breakpoint and it stopped here. Now you need to act. You need to execute line by line code. Now this line is throwing an exception. Immediately what will happen? The catch block will catch this error and the catch block will execute. See, if you click on that, the 8th line after, it will jump to catch block. That means 9th line is not executed now. Why? Any line which has an exception, the rest of the lines in the try block won't execute. It will skip. and it will move to catch block. See now catch block, all lines will execute. Catch block, all lines are started executing. See? So print stack trace is printed. Which line it is exception is throwing? Line number 8 is exception is occurring. The exception message is printed. Exception cause is printed. Now it went to finally block. Catch block after it went to finally block. This is the line by line code execution we are executing. See now it went outside the try catch finally block. Now see every line is executed. Before it didn't execute, right? If you didn't add try catch block, the code is not executed anymore. Now it is executing all the code. All the code is executing now. Why it is happening? Because you handle that try catch block finally block. So that is the reason it is handling the exception here. See that it is clearly saying the exception occurred. Still the rest of the code is executing. That is called exception handling. Even the exception occurs, you can execute your rest of the code. You can execute a smooth flow of your program execution if you handle the exception with the try catch blocks. See, for example, I will give a value for this. Okay. Now what will happen is this. Let's run the same in the debug mode. So understand the code, how it is executing flow, how the code is executing. Please understand. Line by line code I'm showing. This is the best opportunity for you to carefully watch here how it is executing. See that. Now see, 9th line is executing. Before 9th line didn't execute for us. Now what is the result value? You can see here. What is the result value? You got 12. So what is the result value you got? You see even mouse over here. See the result value will show here in the bottom side, 12. That means it calculated. So you are not dividing with the 0 now. Now B value is 2. And now 9th line is executing. Why? The try block is successful now. See now, it's not going for the catch block. It will jump from catch the try block after. This is a try block ending here. It will jump to finally block. Please observe carefully. It directly came into finally block. Why catch block completely skipped? Try block is successful. If try block is successful, catch block is not going to execute anymore. See that all the lines of code is executing perfectly. So that's it. Clear?
Yep.
So this is the very line by line code execution I have shown you. Practice that. Why you need a try catch block? What it is doing? What is the advantage we catch that? If this is not added, a single line also not executed. If there is an exception, all lines skipped completely. But when you add a try catch, the rest of the code till the end you are able to execute the all lines of code. That's a smooth flow of program execution is going on. That's why you will get arithmetic exception also I covered. And how to execute line by line code also I have shown. And finally block whether exception occurred or not. Irrespective of this exception, the finally block code gets executed always. Clear? Now, next class. So null pointer exception. Second one, right? Null pointer exception demo. See this. So I'm declaring a private static string yes as a null. Okay. I declared a private static string as a null. So I'm creating a method. Okay, I'm creating a methods. Two methods I'll create. Static void get length. Okay, get length. So I'm just print this. Started executing the string length. Maybe I can make it a return type method also, right? I can make it a return type method. LENGTH. Okay. Now I can just write return s dot length method. There is a length method. Directly I can use this. The s is a static variable. I can use in another static method, right? Static variable you can use anywhere, either a static or non-static methods. Both methods you can call, right? So this is the one method. I'll write one more method. Protected. Static string giant strings. Okay, giant strings. I'll give here one more string s1. Okay, so return. Maybe I'll do here. So started executing the giant string method. Okay. Giant the two strings using string class method. What is that? Concat method. Okay, these are all predefined methods in the string class. I'm going to cover that, don't worry. S dot concat s1. S dot concat s1. So like this, I have written a lot of methods. Okay, then I'll write some statements here. So I'm learning strings. So another statement, multiple statements I'll write. A collection of characters are called string. String is an immutable class. So what is immutable class means? You cannot modify. Basically, it's a final class. So basically, it's a final class. I can say final class. String is a final class. These are all a lot of statements we have written. Now I will call the method. So get length method I will call. How to call return type methods? Return type static methods. What is the formula?
Class name dot.
Same class. Why do you need a class name Monday? What is
Just need
this?
the variable and then assign that value by using the method name.
The return type of the data type of the method. The formulas, you should not forget these formulas. I keep on telling. Data type, so variable name equal to return type static method. Same class, why do you need all those things? Simple. Data type is integer. So variable name and get length. That's it. So right. Even I call giant two strings methods also. Otherwise, just run this program. Okay. I'm writing. So end of calling the methods. Some statements I want to add basically. So that you can understand the line of code is executing or not. Right? Whether after this method line of code is executing or not. string class is available in java.lang package. String is a character array. Character array. Yes, so characters, a group of characters will be there. That's a string. Okay, so let's execute now. What will happen is this. So which lines of code is executing? Which lines of code is not executing? Can you see this? First line is executed. Second line is executed. Third line also executed. Are you getting any trouble? That 1, 2, 3 lines are executed. Now, this line is coming from this get length method onwards. Get length method, it is coming from here. See, it is coming, see line number also, it will show you very clearly. You are getting, what is the exception you are getting here?
Null point.
Null pointer exception you are getting. So why null pointer exception you are getting? See, very carefully observe. In the main method, what is the line number you are getting exception? 26 line. Click on this. See, it is clearly showing 26 line. But where, how do you understand here you are getting a null? There is no null here, right? Then one step above you go. Then go to this method inside. Now this method inside, what is the line number? See that. What is the line number?
10.
10. So here you are getting, why you are getting here? What is the null pointer exception definition I told you? What is the null pointer exception definition I did? Why you will get null pointer exception?
You don't give value.
Or the string is null. There's nothing in there.
The variable has a null value. On that null variable, you are doing some operation on that null variable. Operation means I am calling length method on this variable. Null variable, I am calling the length method. That is wrong. Any null variable, if you try to do some operation on the null variable, I'm doing operation. What operation I'm doing? I'm calling, I'm accessing length method with the null variable. That's why you are getting a null pointer exception. These are all very, very important, and in real time, this is the only exception you will see n number of times. Even developer make mistakes also you can catch easily. This topic is a very, very crucial topic. You can give logs also if you understand these concepts. This is the null pointer exception. When you are getting, and see line number also, it is very clearly saying how you need to debug. How you need to debug this line null pointer exception. Which line is occurring? You go step by step. First main method, because you call that method, right? You are calling this method here, main method first. That's it. That line is showing. That line is showing here, right? 26 line. But here you are not finding anything here, right? Here you are not finding anything. But maybe this method inside, just move one step above, this method inside line number 10, go line number 10. One more clue you will get. One more clue you will get. So you are using a variable yes. See, yes, what is the yes value? What is the yes value now? What is the yes value?
Null.
Null. That's why a null variable, you are calling the method. That's why it is throwing null pointer exception. Okay, that's the reason. Then how can we solve it? So we can solve with the, by declare, you have to give. Okay, initially you can declare null. This variable, global variable, global static variable you declare. This is a global static variable, right?
Yep.
Variables are all gone now, or it is there. Remember, you remember the variable topic. Global static variable. So global static variables, you can use any method inside. So, but I assigned a null value. You can initially assign null value, but later you change yes value. So I can change S value. So I'll call these methods also, the rest of the methods also. What is the other method? I'll call string S2 val equal to join strings. I can give some other S val. That's it. See, now still you will get a null pointer exception. See, it is throwing. See, after this, the code is not executed. The code is not executed. Same. 26th line, you are getting error. So that is the same. After this line, the code is not moving at all. These lines are not executed at all. Why it didn't execute? This exception occurred. Exception occurred, I told you in the beginning. It will terminate. It will terminate the program. It's terminating. But how can you handle this? So I'll handle this. These two lines are giving an exception for me. I'll put these two lines in the try catch. Surround with a try catch block. Okay. These two lines I'm keeping in the try catch. Even the exception occurs here also. Now see, you have multiple lines and you execute in the debug mode. You will come to know. The first exception occurs here in the 27th line. Will these lines, 3 lines will execute or no?
It's good.
28th, 29th, 30 lines will execute or no?
Good.
No.
The answer is no. Only Lakshman is getting, nobody is getting the answers. Even I told you very clearly, any line you got an exception, the rest of lines in the try block will skip. If you read yesterday's our blog, you will get that very clearly mentioned that line also. If any line you got exception in the try block, the rest of the lines in the try block will skip automatically. Then it will jump directly to catch block. That's what I told. And I'm proving that also. I proved in the first program itself. Not only for null pointer exception, it is common for anything. In the try block, there is an exception. The rest of the lines in the try block will skip. That's a basic concept. Basic concept, that one. I don't need to tell also that. So exception comes, automatically it will skip the rest of the lines of code. Okay, done. So let's move on to the next. You can see now. Now these lines of code will execute out of I'll say out of try catch block. So if you want, you can add finally block also if you want. Otherwise, leave it. Okay. So that's the now. Let's execute. See, rest of the code is executed now. First 3 lines are executed. Even there is a still exception in the now. See line number 27, it is throwing, and you can see line number 10 null pointer exception. Because still this S value is null only. That's why it is throwing exception. After the try catch blocks, try catch finally block. So finally block is executed here. You see finally block is executed. But still exception is thrown and a finally block executed. Then it went to this lines of code. Before it didn't execute these lines. Now it is executed because we added a try catch finally blocks. And so now I'll give the value. I'll give the initially I declared a S value as a null. I will assign the value for there. Now I will assign the value. See, variable, how can you call a static variable? How you can assign the value? So you declared here assigned. But how you can assign again? See, this is the how I'm calling the variable name. I'm giving the value. All these variables are important. See, now I set the value now. So no more now S value is not going to be a null. It will set Java now, and this null will be replaced with a Java. So wherever you are calling, first main method will execute, right? That's why S value will set, and then you are calling the getLength method. So it will go to getLength, and this value will take. So it will execute all the code. See, perfectly it will execute now. So there is no issues at all. Code is executed, no exceptions at all. So this is the another how you can. So initially you can declare null, not a problem, but make sure next line before using that you assign the proper value for that variable. Even object also you can declare null initially, but later that object value, but don't write data type before this. Data type don't write. If you write data type, what will happen? Only for this method it is applicable, this yes, not for other methods. Then there is no value for this global variable. If you make again yes local variable, there is no value for this. And this global variable still has a null value one. Okay. So once you declare globally, you just call the variable name, assign the value. Next. So number format exception. So number format exception means, for example, you declared a string s equal to Java, right? Now you are so convert the string into primitive int format. So how can you convert that string into primitive format? This is a formula int. So val equal to integer wrapper class dot rsync. How can you convert a string object into primitive int format? So you give the string object, string value, string object. This is the formulas. You need to by heart these formulas. Very, 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 very important, all these formulas. So in the real time, you will use this formula. How can you convert string object into primitive format? So this is a question also. So this is the formula you have to use. So int, so val equal to integer wrapper class at parseInt. So I'm giving s value. So s is the string object. So I can print primitive int value is. So you just give value. So then you can do some calculations also. Try to do some mathematical calculations. For example, this is the val, right? Int sum equal to val plus 5. I can do some calculations and try to print it. Some value is plus sum. Okay, let's execute this code, whether it is executing or not, what values you are getting, what is the exception you are getting. See, only this statement printed. Then what is the exception you got? Number format exception for input string Java. The line number also, line number, which is the line number. How you can find out your, where is the line number? How can you find it? First look for your class name. First look for your class name in this exception. Where is your class name here? So here is your class name. Then what is the method? So main method. Then line number. This is the line number. You can see Java colon after line number will be there. So here, so this is the line it is throwing error. Line number 9, it is throwing a number format exception. So I'll call this. I'll convert. So I'll surround with the try catch blocks. So now you can see. So why it is throwing error here? The val. What is that? Can you read?
It's not initialized. Yeah.
So local variable must be initialized. Without initializing local variables, you cannot use. So I will initialize with a 0. Now error is gone. Okay. So now you can execute the code also. Even the exception occurs, the rest of the code is executed. See that. This rest of the code is executed. This code also executed. That's the advantage with the try-catch blocks. Okay. So I'll give the alphabets you cannot convert. Instead of alphabets, I'll give a number. Number is, but in the string format. That will be converted into primitive format. See, now it will convert into primitive format. Even the number in the string format you can convert. See, now it is converted and complete code properly executed. Try block is successful. That's why catch block is not executed anymore. And that's why the rest of the code is there. Now you are getting 30 here. Okay. So this is the how only number in the string format you can convert into primitive integer format. But alphabets you cannot convert them into primitive format. Please remember that point. Okay. So next one. Last one, arithmetic exception, the array index out of bounds exception, right? But I'll take single try, multi-catch blocks. Single try, multi-catch block I will take. So first to declare, what is the array declaration?
Or you can do multiple, right?
All the basics are important. So I'm declaring int ARR equal to new int 5. So, but I'm assigning a value ARR of 0 equal to 25 by 0. ARR of 1 equal to 30. So ARR of 2 equal to 15. ARR of 3 equal to 45. So ARR of 4 equal to 60. So ARR of 5 equal to 70. Right? So now I'll print. So array length is. So how can you find array length?
Length
Can you find the last element index?
N minus 1.
So array dot length
Minus 1.
-1. This is a big complex expression, right? So you have to put in the bracket. Put it in the bracket. Okay. So then the issue will be resolved. So now I want to print. So iterate the array. Array using for each loop. So for what is the data type? Int I colon error. So instead of I, I'll put A. So any variable name, it doesn't matter. Okay. So A, I'm printing A. So in the same line, I'll print, remove the ln.
Interesting class.
So
6 to 7 एक बैच हटाऊंगा.
yeah, it's there.
वो कैसे होते हैं?
Arrays.
So arrays are objects. So some whatever the statements you want, just print that some statements. And one try block and multi catch block. Yep. Okay, so let's execute now, see what will happen. What you are getting? Arithmetic exception. Why you are getting arithmetic exception here?
You're dividing by 0. Line
Dividing
9.
by 0. You are dividing by 0. That's the reason you are getting arithmetic exception. So, but here, this is throwing an exception. Now for me, this is the exception is throwing. I'll put all these things in the surround with a
Try catch.
one try block, multi catch blocks. I'll put multi catch blocks. So this is first one is arithmetic exception. So arithmetic exception catch block.
ये कल 18 गई नहीं है.
Arithmetic exception catch block. Okay, next let me write one more catch block. So all three catch blocks I'll write. Next, which catch block it is throwing? Array index.
Same time, same. No, let's fast it.
हाँ
Bounds
उनका
exception.
याद है नहीं.
Look at this.
X. So let's call this quickly. So we have to fill, yeah, array index out of bounds exception catch block. So this is the AEX, right? AEX. So again, last one, another, if all these exceptions are not handled, finally this final exception class, this is the root class, right? This will take care. So this will take care. So this will take care. So what, if for example, arithmetic exception you handled, but you are getting array index out of bound exception, this catch block will execute. But so if both are not coming, but some other exception occurred, then this will take care. So that's the main objective of adding. At the end, you have to add root class also. Other than this exception occurs, other than the what you specified, a different exception occurs. So this will take care. The last one, last catch block. So this is the one single try multi catch blocks. Single try multi catch blocks. Okay, let's execute now. See, arithmetic catch block divided by 0, it is throwing exception. Single try multi catch block, line number 10. So you're getting this one. Remaining lines, all the code executed. See, this entire lines of code executed. This entire lines of code executed. But problem is, let me solve this. Okay, let me solve now. Catch block, which catch block executed? Arithmetic exception catch block executed. Now I'll solve this and I'll show you. Okay, 5. So let me give 5. Okay. Now arithmetic exception, no more. See what is the exception you will get. What is the exception you are getting? It went to here. It went to here. What is the reason for this? No, array index out of bounds exception. What is the reason? We are getting array index out of bounds exception.
Because you've given 6th value, but the length is 5.
See, line number also it is clearly saying. Line number 15, you entered more than the array size. This is the 6th value you entered. That is the reason it is throwing array index out of bounds exception. So we should not enter more than the array size. If you enter more than the array size, you will get that. Okay. So this is the, and I'll get now complete code will execute for you. See, complete code is executed. This is the one try multi-catch blocks. Any questions? The last program for the throws keyword demo. The last one. Let's quickly finish this. So private static void. So validate. So int age. If age is less than 15. So I want to throw an exception. So new arithmetic exception. So not eligible to what? So this is I want to tell my own message, but arithmetic exception it has its own message, right? Divided by 0. I changed it. How I am changing to my custom message? With the throw keyword. Throw and followed by this one. Else. So I'll just put thread dot sleep. So I want to wait some time. So 2 seconds I'll wait. See, this is the I was talking about. This is a compile time error. So this is a compile time error. See, it is throwing error, right? What it is saying? See, it is giving a information to the programmer while writing the code itself. What is it saying? Unhandled exception type, interrupted exception. You handle that. Either you can surround with a try catch block, this statement, or add the throws declaration. I will add the throws declaration. So where it is adding throws declaration, method line throws followed by exception class. So these are all the valid. No, so this is the crucial point for your automation or your coding anywhere. This topic is a very, very important topic. Another special topic, this one. Any programming language, you will get this topic, not only in Java. Okay, so eligible to what? Right. So let's call this. And one more point I want to add. If the method has a throws declaration, wherever you are calling this method, there you have to declare again. So what is the 18, right? Okay. See, if I do 15 years, what is the problem you are getting here? 17th line error, compilation error. What is that? It is saying unhandled exception type. If the method has a throws declaration, wherever you are calling, there also you must declare a throws declaration. See, add throws declaration or surround with a try catch. It's free. So I'm adding throws declaration. So anything, any of this is the root class, then subclass, then subclass. So anything you can add. See, throws keyword. So now it is solved your compilation error because you declared exception. That's why it solved as issue. See, not eligible to what? Arithmetic exception has a divided by 0 message, but my message it is printing. It is possible with the throw keyword. That is possible. So now let's do this.
बांध रहा था कि डोर बंद करा ला बेडरूम का
See, eligible to vote. Printed and executed. So this is I want to cover throw keyword and throws keyword, both I cover. So that's all about exception handling. Any questions?